102 of Comics and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Lumpy.
And this is the review show that reviews comics chronologically. Kind of. Are you okay, Uncle Chris? You came in really late there.
Listen, when I'm trying to
mouthful of Santucci.
I'm trying to chew a slice of pizza and swallow it real fast, and you went through it too quick, and I'm like, no.
I could hear you trying to swallow it before you ate.
I almost choked to death. You would have heard me die on the podcast. That would have been great.
All right, this is why you don't eat on the podcast.
You're a slave driver. I'm trying to eat fast because I don't ever get any time anymore. You're always making me podcasts constantly.
I'm so hungry right now.
That's
why I had to eat while I'm podcasting because I never get a chance to stop.
Okay. All right. Today we are covered in Detective Comics number 86. It was released April 1944. It was written by Don Cameron, penciled by Dick Sprang, inked by Dick Sprang, lettered by Pat Gordon, edited by Jack Schiff and Bernie Frieslauer. Executive editor. Yeah, sounds right. Executive editor was Whitney Ellsworth, and the cover artist was Dick Sprang. The story in this one is called Danger Strikes 3, and it is 13 pages long. Yeah. Who wants to do the cover?
So,
Batman. Go ahead.
You got it.
Do it. No, forget it. I don't want to do it now.
Nope.
Now I'm going to eat my pizza.
You're doing it.
Batman number 86. It's got Batman up in the left-hand corner, and it says Superman DC publication, Detective Comics logo, and then Batman and Robin are swinging in, and there's a guy on the ground who looks like he might be Alfred with magnifying glass.
And it's Alfred.
That was spoilers, TJ. Don't spoil it. And
this is not canon.
And then all I see is one guy and maybe, I don't know, a blue splotch that they're swinging at. Do you see it? It's really dark on mine. Like, I can almost make out a hat.
It's another person.
It's another person. I have a digital copy, and it's very clear. It's a guy, like, jumping at them. He has a microphone in one hand and gun in the other.
All right, I see the gun. I can't see the microphone at all.
Yeah, I don't see the microphone, but...
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, unless it's supposed to be a billy club. Like a blackjack or something, but it looks exactly
There
like
is an awful lot of knockouts in it.
Yeah, we get some knockouts again. We definitely get some knockouts.
Yeah, okay. Anything else to say about that cover?
No, because I can't really see it. That's why I told him to go ahead. Actually, Alfred looks like he's got two sets of eyes, too, on his face. It looks really weird.
So in mine, it's just a lot of wrinkles on his face, like they...
Oh, okay. It really looks like two sets of eyes.
Well, when I first looked at it, I only saw wrinkles, but now that you said two sets of eyes, I can't see anything but two sets of eyes.
It looks like two sets of eyes, right?
Yeah, now that you say it. Alright, moving on. So you're reading a digital copy, right, Lump?
Yes.
So you're reading what I'm reading, Uncle Chris?
Yes.
Alright, so the second page in what we're reading is just an advertisement for the other comics, Action Comics, Detective Comics, Flash.
And it names the editorial advisory board for some reason.
It's because the editorial advisory board is still a thing. They do that on that side every time.
How do they? I never noticed it before.
It's always on the side there, but usually on this side there's like book reviews and stuff. We don't have a Superman secret code this week.
Ah, come on, that's the best part.
When you don't have one, you're supposed to make one, TJ.
TJ.
Week.
How are we going to know to buy bonds and stamps?
Well, that's what I'm getting to my point of.
Okay.
I guess people are getting tired of deciphering bonds and stamps, so maybe they just stopped doing it. Because it's not here for the next 2 weeks.
It does mention right here, because the War Production Board has ordered a reduction in the use of paper, more Fun and Adventure will be published bi-monthly.
Yeah, I mean, it does say that, but that's not going to be true for Detective Comics, so...
No, but it names who. It doesn't name Detective Comics. It says All Flash, All-Star Comics, Wonder Woman, Mutt and Jeff will become quarterlies, and All American Comics will be published only 8 times a year, and Picture Stories from the Bible only twice a year for the duration of the war.
Oh no, not twice, only twice a year for Picture Bible? How do we ever get our stories?
Back then, I'll bet you that was pretty popular back then.
Well, I would assume so too. That's why
it probably was.
It's why it's part of their lineup.
Yeah.
But still, that's why I'm complaining. Only 2 a year? Come on. Anyway. Alright, Lump, you're up for the non-canon splash page.
Okay, Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder. which is the standard Batman symbol behind him. There is a black hot air balloon, and Robin, Batman, and why can't I think of his name right now? Alfred are swinging from a spider web that's falling from it.
I think it's a net,
it's
but
a
okay.
net.
Why does Alfred have a pipe? Is he? I guess he's got a magnifying glass in the first one. I guess they're trying to make him like Sherlock Holmes, right?
He's a detective, basically. Yeah. That's like in the one part he's reading a book that's a detective, how to be a detective. But there's two guys shooting up at them and a bag of money on the ground.
There sure is. and there's a wall of text on the left.
Yeah. Every time now there's a wall of text.
Well, we can ignore it, but we have to mention it so that we can just explain that it's there.
I think Lumpy stopped reading it completely.
Yep, but don't read it at all. You guys don't cover it, I don't read it.
It ruins it. It ruins the whole story half the time.
Yeah, I literally don't. I skip it completely every time.
That's fine. You need to mention it that it's there in your animation.
Well, I don't like to acknowledge it.
Are they in the spotlight? Those two guys shooting the guns?
I don't know if it's a moon on the ground.
It's a random circle.
It's got to be some kind of spotlight because they have a shadow.
Yeah, I see their shadows now too.
All right, let's open this up. The story starts with Dick walking through the street, and he's having a bad day apparently. And as he's walking, he comes across, I guess, just robbers robbing a fur company in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and I guess fur was so popular, because this is a lot of times we've seen them stealing fur.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah.
But, he's just coming home from school. He's on his way home from school, so this is in the middle of broad daylight.
Right, this is between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, so he spots this, and that, the guard's knocked out and stuff. So he gets changed into Robin, and he starts attacking them. He punches a few guys, and then he gets punched in the back of the head and gets knocked out for the
1,000,000th time.
47th time. And they tie him up and they kidnap him because, they don't want him to go back to Batman to tell them their plans. But cops, instead of, trying to follow them or anything, sees them and says, I better go call somebody. And then they just get away with Robin.
They don't chase him, nothing. And I'm getting a little tired of getting knocked out because, for one, they'll come back and beat everybody up in one shot. Robin can kill everybody in one panel, and the next panel, somebody just pops them on the back of the head and knocks them out.
One time. One shot, back of the head.
Number 2, if I knock Batman or Robin out as a criminal, I'm pulling that mask off. That's the first thing I'm doing and seeing who it is.
I mean, true. Or,
right.
The first thing you do is kill them.
I was going to say, I'm putting a bullet in their head because
the last thing you ever do is leave them somewhere and hope that they die when you leave, because it's not going to work.
No,
but all of these things ruin the comic books.
True.
None of them are going to happen.
All right, so that's Robin. So we cut over to Wayne Manor, where Alfred is doing chores and something, and he messed something up, so he puts on the radio the common stuff down, and the radio tells him that Robin's been kidnapped.
They purposely mentioned that he burned Batman's favorite trousers or something, and then they never come back to it again.
Yeah. I guess he did it with the iron or something.
Yeah, why would we need to come back to that?
Because why mention what he did?
Because he's worried about it. He's distressed about it, so he turns on the radio to calm him down. That's how he finds out about Robin.
I want to see Batman kick his ass for burning his own.
Whatever. But he hears about Robin's kidnapping, but he can't tell Bruce because Bruce apparently out in the middle of the ocean fishing with no way of contacting him.
And this is the first time I've ever seen Bruce go do something leisurely without Dick.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's about, but okay.
They're fighting. They're mad at each other.
I mean, they went out fishing.
Robin is in a really bad mood today.
Yeah, he's pissy. He's mad because Batman went fishing and made him go to school. That's why.
Probably. Anyway, Alfred's like, okay, I can't get a hold of Bruce. Well, I'm going to go out and save Robin myself. So he goes to the cop or the security guard or whoever that saw the thing, and he points him in the right direction, and then he finds oil that Robin had kicked over in the back of the truck. I don't know how it leaked out from the back of the truck, but because since it's in the truck with them, but whatever.
It's spilling out through the doors.
He said it would. He said it has no lid on it, so I'm going to kick it over and it'll leave a trail.
So yeah, it leaves a perfect dotted trail for Alfred to follow to what looks like either a castle or like a Alamo fortress or...
Why?
Yeah, I don't know what they were going for.
Why is Alfred crawling on the ground looking at it?
Because he's detecting it with his magnifying glass.
Oh, yeah, you don't bring a magnifying glass and not get down on the ground and look at stuff.
No, he's reading a book.
It does look like he's reading a book.
He is. He's consulting the book, and now when he puts the book away, he uses his magnifying glass.
This book says that this is oil that Robin kicked over right here in this book.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, Alfred finds the place he was, he goes to the door, and they pull a gun on him, and they capture Alfred. So now they got Alfred and Robin. An hour later, Lump, on your copy, what time of day is it in Bruce's fishing?
It's bright and sunny outside. There's no sun out, but...
No.
Okay.
So the water itself is dark, but the background is very blue skies and cloudy.
It looks
he's
like
night fishing on ours. Yeah,
he's night fishing on ours. That's why
you can't even tell who it is. It's a black splotch, which is the boat and him fishing, and then the water is another black splotch with blue splotches on it.
So mine is the same for the bottom. It's a black splotch for the boat, a black silhouette of the guy with a fishing pole, and then the water looks like an oil slick with blue spots in it.
Yeah, and then the sky is dark too, and dark clouds.
Yeah, my sky is clear blue sky with birds flying and white clouds.
All right, I was just curious because it looks like it's nighttime at this point in our comic. So
yeah, not on mine.
All right, so Bruce is out fishing, and he's just happily going along, and then, oh look, the criminals who've been behind everything so far just happen to be in a speedboat and knock into his boat, and then get on the tanker to start robbing it.
Not only is Batman the greatest detective, he's also the luckiest man alive. He always seems to bump into stuff that he's looking for.
He just knows how to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Or the wrong place at the right time.
The best thing about this is Robin basically stumbles on a crime, and then the criminals basically just stumble upon Bruce.
They just take Robin to Bruce.
Yeah, it's...
Well... Bruce is like, they can't rob people in front of me. So he chases into Batman, swims over,
jumps in he recharges his superpowers by jumping into the water. That's what he does.
Yeah, well, he was knocked into the water. Although he didn't have to use them today yet, so was already recharging on full, so. So the bad guys are robbing this, what is it? Oh, they're stealing platinum from this ship.
These guys are weird. They're always stealing crazy stuff.
And so they're stealing it, and then Batman sneaks on the boat, punches one guy in the face, punches another guy, and then he gets shot off the boat.
Shot. Yep. Like they shoot him.
Yep, shot in the head.
Yep, they shoot him in the head.
Yeah, he's dead. Batman's dead.
But the criminal's like, we only grazed his head. Okay.
They leave him with a bomb, and just hope he dies, but then they shoot him in the head, and they're like, oh, he must not be dead. Let's go check on him. How's that work?
Well, he fell into their boat.
Into their boat, yeah.
Oh, he did fall into the boat, so they're like, oh, let's get him get the trash out of the boat. That's how they realized he was still alive.
Yeah. Yes.
Does that count as a knockout when he gets shot in the head?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I have that written down. That is Batman's 68th knocked out.
Wow, Robin's catching up.
Yeah, he's still 21 behind.
Yeah, no, but it was like a couple months before Robin even showed up, or he was getting knocked out every day.
Well, yeah, I mean, but... Considering the structure of these things, you would think Robin would have caught up by now. So.
Yeah, you're right.
But he hasn't. Batman still gets knocked out as often as Robin. So the bad guys take Batman, and instead of killing him, now you have the whole collection, and they throw him in the jail with Robin, and instead of, stabbing him, or shooting him, or anything else.
Or taking a picture of his face would ruin him, too.
Anything. Yeah, they just throw him in, a tower jail cell.
They're going to blow him up. I mean...
Alfred and Robert, and they're going to leave him there and to be blown up by a time bomb.
Yeah, they're taking care of it. They got it all tied up.
We're going to leave and come back to clean it up, yeah.
No, well, we can't stick around when the bomb goes off.
You can't stand down on the ground and watch?
No, what if you get hit by shrapnel? We got to get out of here.
The bad guys, whatever, they're stupid and incompetent. The next part is, really infuriating to me.
You know what I noticed in this one? They know him, but we never seen him before, did we?
Who?
The bad guy. Everybody.
No,
knows
but
the
they know everybody. They even mention if I know my rogues gallery, this is this guy. Yeah,
I noticed they started using that too. Rogues gallery.
Yeah,
rogues gallery, rogues. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was kind of always a thing. It just didn't become like synonymous with comics until,
right.
You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, so they leave Robin, Alfred, and Batman tied up in the tower to be blown up. And Alfred and Robin have been trying to figure out a way to get out of this tower for an hour, and then Batman wakes up and said, okay, let's figure this out. And so, okay, he grabs the magnifying glass out of Alfred's pocket. Yes. Mm-hmm. And he uses the magnifying glass to burn through his ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And it says minutes later. It's not going to take minutes for that to happen.
Seconds.
Right,
you ever burn anything with magnifying glass?
No. If you can get the right angle on the magnifying glass, it goes up pretty fast because you can burn
very fast.
Just by putting it near them. Kids always
this is ridiculous, but whatever. We've seen more ridiculous.
This is not ridiculous.
This is ridiculous in the time it takes it to. I don't even think you can burn ropes like this, but whatever.
You definitely can, but how he can do it and hold it steady with his feet, it's impressive.
I thought you were going to say that what was infuriating was the fact that he's got a freaking knife in his tool.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. That's why I'm trying to get to it.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to it. That's why I'm trying to brush past it. I'm like, whatever, magnifying glass. So he uses the magnifying glass to get free. And then we get a look inside the utility belt. For weeks we've been talking about, he's got a knife in that utility belt, doesn't he? Because he won't use it. And then they actually show it to us. They show us the inside of the utility belt. They don't show us all the compartments. They show, like, chemicals and stuff. Mm-hmm. But there's a compartment called tools, and there is a file and a knife and a screwdriver in there.
Yeah,
pliers. I did not see a knife.
It's like a saw blade, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the file.
Whatever. You know there's a knife in there somewhere.
There's no knife. I'm not seeing a knife.
There's a sharp blade in there. It doesn't matter.
And actually, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a saw blade.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know.
And it could be. I just was trying to play. That's the file.
He has a freaking knife in his utility belt.
Honestly, the pair of pliers looks like maybe wire cutters too.
Yep, they have cutters on them, 100%. And they even drew the hole where the cutters would normally be.
Where the cutter would be, yeah.
So why has he not been using his knife?
He's saving it. He don't want to have to sharpen it, so he uses everything else.
Can't have it getting dull.
It's on a dull blade.
When I saw this, I was so mad because they led up to it with another stupid escape with a magnifying glass.
I was happy to finally see some stuff on the belt because I'm like, oh, well, all right, now we're going to start seeing more of the belt. Like
maybe.
I mean, hopefully he'll start using a knife to escape.
You know, if he doesn't use the belt, it's a waste of equipment. You know that? A waste. Get it? Because it goes around his waist.
Get it.
Get it.
We're not at the end of the show yet.
That's the end. See you later. Have a good day, everybody. So I don't like how he makes the key either.
All right. We'll get to the key
next.
Yes. So, in his utility belt, he has a blank key.
Yeah. Because
the door is locked and they can't, break the door open like they've done 1,000 times. But whatever. He can't get out. They're trapped in this room. And the bombs are going to go if they get out. But he has time to take out this blank key, light a match, and make it, completely black. Blocking the key. And so when he sticks the key into the
lock
keyhole, the tumblers from inside the lock scratch off the soot in the spots that need to be done. And so he takes out the key and proceeds to file this key down to the point where it will unlock this door.
Yeah, I think they would have blew up by now.
Yes, this would have taken them a lot longer than it would have been.
No.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with TJ on this one.
The key's made of soft metal. It has a file. He's only filing off little centimeters.
How do you know it's made of soft metal?
That's what old skeleton keys were made of. That's a skeleton key. They couldn't use good steel because it was being shipped off to the war.
I mean, it does have valid excuses for it. You do have valid excuses for it. I gotta give you that. That was came up with it. You got off the fly. No. That was pretty good. It's tin. It's tin. They couldn't use steel. The steel.
Yeah,
It does not say skeleton key. It says blank key.
Yeah, but it looks like the shape of a skeleton key.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it doesn't look like your regular key that you have today.
It looks like a blank key that they use when they put the key in to like make it that original thing. That's what it looks like.
Back then in the 40s, they were all skeleton.
Start saying you know what they did in the 40s. You don't even know what they did last week.
They had skeleton keys. Soft metal skeleton.
I don't think you need to file down a skeleton key. I think a skeleton key's already made.
Well, this is a blank one.
Oh, okay.
You're forgetting it states that.
It does say blank skeleton key. Blank key. That doesn't say skeleton key, but it does have the long handle like a skeleton key.
That's just how keys were in the 40s.
Right, skeleton key.
I don't know if that's an actual... I thought a skeleton key was one that was good for everything.
Well, it's good for everything in that was made with that specific lock. You can't go use a skeleton key and unlock every lock in the world.
So actually, it's funny. I have an old house, and all of the doors in my house were all this style key. Like, all the interior doors of my house use this style key. And nowadays, with the new way they make them, it's a universal key, and it's shaped exactly like that.
So, really?
They don't have any teeth chopped out of them at all. Funny. It's just literally a square on the end of the skeleton key style. That's it.
So, TJ, you're saying that key doesn't open every lock, but what happens when they give you the key? Like, they give Batman the key to the city. That giant key. That giant key doesn't even look like it would fit in the keyholes, but I think it opens all the doors in the city.
Yeah, those giant keys doesn't open anything. It's a prop.
City. You open any door in the city with that key.
Key to the city.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Uncle Chris. When you go to a city, do you go through a door?
It's a key.
Sometimes.
No, that's why the key to the city works in every door.
No, do you go, when you go to a new city, do you have to pass through a door?
Sometimes.
No.
Do you?
That's why.
Yes.
Exactly. Because there's no door for that key to unlock because it's a prop.
No, that opens all the doors.
If you go to a new city, you always go through a door.
Here's the door to New York. We must be in New York.
I mean, you're not walking to New York.
Right. No, I'm not.
So whether you take the subway, the train, or your car, you're getting out of the door to enter the city. Every time. No one's walking into New York.
People walked in New York before?
No, there was a bridge.
Okay, there's no tunnel or door on a bridge.
You drive over the bridge.
So you need the key to the city.
Or even if you take a boat, you still get out of the door.
You need a key to the city.
You need a key to get through those doors.
Yeah, but let me tell you, you don't need to go from... In Pennsylvania, you can walk from Philadelphia to the next city and then get there without a door.
No, you can't.
You just specifically chose an island to prove your point.
Yeah, but you're not going to walk to the city.
God.
Anyway.
Do you walk out your front door before you go to the next city?
No, I go out the window like Batman.
Through the window, not out the window. Through the glass and everything.
Yes, I go through the window.
Except Batman this time decides he's unlocking the door instead of busting it down.
Or going out the window that you see when he's sitting on the ground. Oh, yeah. There's bars on the window, so I see that. But
there's bars on the windows, and I already mentioned not instead of trying to break through the door, but you went on a key rant for some reason. So anyway, they unlock the door with the key, whatever, and then they get out, and then the Alamo explodes. It's not the actual Alamo, but, that kind of building. And then we get, a silhouette of the Batman, Robin, and Alfred running through the streets so that Batman can call Commissioner Gordon to find out if these guys that something's going on, because these idiot crooks tell them their plans beforehand and say, we did and who monologues like this? We did a crime on land, sea, now we gotta go do one by air. Why?
Bragging.
Yeah, but why is this the plan? Why is their plan themed? Why are we robbing land, air, and sea instead of just robbing three things?
So it's funny you put it that way. I'm actually listening to the audio adventures of Batman, and just so you guys know, it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. But the funny part is, the gag in it is when you're going to become a superhero, you can't, like a villain, you have to have a gimmick or a scheme. Like, you can't just be somebody who robs stuff. You have to have a theme. Like, you have to have something going on. In Gotham, you're not a crook unless you have a theme going. So that's it, right there. It's always been that way. If you're going to be a villain, you have to have a theme.
I'm pretty sure the first guy Batman punched into acid did not have a theme.
Who was the first guy?
The first guy he's ever fought. The first comic we covered.
But who was he?
What was his name? I don't remember his name. He was some kind of mobster.
Oh, but he was never he's not a supervillain.
Neither are these guys.
Well, but you don't know.
They're trying.
It's their first appearance.
I know because these guys are single appearances.
They didn't click. They didn't.
Right, they didn't make it. They didn't make it.
They were Airland and Sea guys. Airland and Sea guys.
No, because they mentioned after they complete this air thing, they're retiring and going straight.
Well, yeah, but that's what their whole theme was, that they had to do all these three big things first, and then they were going to retire. It's part of their gimmick.
It's okay. Whatever it is, their gimmick gets them caught because Batman calls Commissioner Gordon and says, "Is there something happening in the air? Like, are you transporting anything by air?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got a plane full of diamonds going to here." It's like, up there, that's where we got to go. And so,
yeah, this is the best one.
I don't know what the best part of the best part is, though. Like, is it the balloon with the net? Is that the best part? Or the way they get them to avoid the balloon with the net?
No, so both. But yeah, the way they get them to avoid is my favorite part.
Because that would have been a massacre.
So at 8 o'clock at an airport.
Absolutely. 100%.
So at 8 o'clock on an airport, the bad guys release a hot air balloon. I'm assuming it's a hot air balloon.
I'm assuming, too.
With a net attached to it. And I guess the other side's tied down to the
ground.
Or
like a cell phone tower.
So it's just like a...
Almost.
It's tied to like either power lines or cell phone towers.
So just think of a giant tennis net.
It wouldn't be a cell phone tower in the 40s, but it does look like that.
It would not.
Yeah, so it's essentially a giant tennis in this air. And the plane with the diamonds is flying towards. I guess they can't see it because it's dark now.
And what's the plan? Let's fish diamonds out of a fiery mess? Because how is that net? That net's not just going to stop that plane. It's going to crash the friggin' plane.
Well, and they basically say that. So once it crashes, then we got to hurry up and get the diamonds and get into our own plane.
And no wonder these guys get caught because they suck.
They suck, but yet they manage to capture Batman and Robin and Alfred in separate situations.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I guess Batman and Robin and Alfred stumbled upon them and they were kind of taken off guard. But still.
Well, the better part's getting ready to happen. So.
All right. You guys are building up this better part this whole time. Right, so the plane's about to crash into the net. What happens?
Batman flies the Batplane under this airplane and lifts the airplane up over the net. Doesn't crash into it.
While the other airplane is clearly trying to land.
The other airplane doesn't even notice that Batman crashed into the bottom of him and lifted him up over the friggin' net. It would have been a mess. It would have been, they both would have died.
Yeah, everybody is dead in this situation. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It's not.
Well, apparently it is. The comic showed me that they went over the net.
Well, the Batplane does have terrific power. Motor has terrific power.
Yeah, it has terrific power, and they went over the net, and so, as you guys say, it's right there. You see it, you know?
Yep, soft metal keys.
Yeah, Batman wouldn't lie to us.
It must be true, you know?
So, after that, he decides he's going to blow the net out of the sky. Why the hell didn't he do that from the beginning?
There was no time.
Okay, so he decided to crash in and almost kill everybody. That sounds like a better idea.
Yeah, but why is he blowing the net out of the sky?
He says, I better blow that net out of the sky before some other pilot smashes into it.
Why does he care?
I guess he doesn't want nobody to get killed. He's Batman. He's going to save everybody.
He was about to murder the entire plane. Unless he's just worried that he was going to crash into it, but why would he be worried about crashing into it? He knows where it is. I don't know, it just seems like an overly nice thing to do for a guy who didn't care 3 minutes ago.
Well, he's about to do other goofy shit next, so.
Well, they get in their plane, they blow up the net, and then Batman jumps from the Batplane onto the back of their plane. And I guess he sticks a rod into their tail.
And, steers them?
So he can steer it.
Yeah, so he's stealing it. He's causing them to crash down, and they're all freaking out about that they're going to crash. And so they decide they're going to land the plane.
No, Batman lands it.
But
he said,
Batman
a neat landing I made, if I do say so myself. Batman lands the plane.
Yeah, but they also say they because he said Herman's right. Set her down until you can find out what's wrong.
Yeah, they set it down. I don't think Batman can physically.
He says a neat landing I made. If I do say so myself, before he saw.
I understand that, but he's only in control of the steering. He doesn't have control of the landing part of this thing.
He's taking credit for it.
Delusional, narcissistic credit for everything. So anyway, they land the plane, and the guys run out of the plane scared. Batman jumps down from the plane and starts beating them up. And then Robin shows up. How far did they fly?
Just like
a couple feet.
I guess Robin was flying the plane. I guess maybe the Batplane.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I don't know why Alfred was in the plane with them, but
they're the Three Musketeers.
No, whatever. Robin helps the fight. Alfred tackles a guy, and they capture the crooks. They take them to Gordon, and they take them to Gordon, and they get arrested. And then they're all arguing over who gets credit for taking down these crooks. And then they decide that it was a team effort, and that they are the Three Musketeers. The end.
Mm-hmm. Batman didn't care. As long as he got credit for that and landing that plane. That's all he cared about.
The story was not great, but on second going through it, it was way worse.
Yeah, when we pick it apart, it's way worse. It didn't feel bad when I read it.
I was trying to stop you from picking this one. I actually really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I didn't hate this one either. I thought it was okay.
I was like, I enjoyed reading this one, and you were just trying to destroy it the whole way through. I'm like, I mean, yeah, there was far-fetched stuff in it. It's a comic book, but like I enjoyed it, and I don't know, you were just trying so hard. I'm like,
I didn't hate the comic book, but
I know
as I was going through it, just the stupidity of the things that were being shown to me as I was re-examining things, and I'm not going to give this one with a bunch of Bobo mobsters a pass when I've teared apart every other comic worse or just as bad.
I agree. I just did, for some reason, when I read this one, I was okay.
Yeah. This one sounded much worse as we went through it than it was. I read it, it was good.
Crazy
it was
enough,
fine.
and it just like...
Yeah. I liked that they threw Alfred in. They had Alfred be part
I did enjoy reading it.
I think why it seemed like refreshing in a sense is because the structure was different than normal. Like, we jumped from character to character. We had 3 different things, and everything kind of converged. I don't think we had a story like this with Batman yet.
And the whole Alfred thing was cool, too. I liked Alfred being involved.
I did, too. I liked the Alfred thing. Even though it was, like, a little bit...
silly?
Yeah, silly. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I tore it apart, but I didn't, hate it. But
no, I mean, we always do. It's fine. I just, for some reason,
that's what happens when we're all together, ripping down a comic book. It's hard to ignore the stuff because we're talking about it. We're bringing it up. It's like, yeah,
exactly. When you're reading through, it's definitely not like
I'm not thinking about all that.
I enjoyed it when I read it, but
so. I'm trying to get to the synopsis.
who was in this?
It's taking forever. There it goes. Danger Strikes 3. Individuals: Batman, Robin, Alfred Pennyworth, James Gordon, Gentleman Jim, his only appearance, Herman's only appearance, and Tapper's only appearance. And that's it. It doesn't mention the utility belt. It doesn't mention the Batplane. So I mentioned it.
On mine, I do have Batman, Alfred Gordon, Gentleman Jim, Herman, Tapper, Gotham City, Gotham Horror, Waymaker, utility belt, Batplane.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
So, and then I have a trivia at the bottom that says, this is the first issue to look inside the utility belt.
Which I did like that too. I was happy to see that.
I think that was one of my things that I enjoyed. I was like, oh yes, finally we get that utility belt.
I like that, but it's just... We've been on a stretch of comics where he just does not use
we've been getting angry about that lately
and
a lot. And now
I think it was either last week or the week before we literally brought this up. So when I saw this, I was like, oh man, we got to talk about this one.
The funny part is we've been saying, I know there's a knife in there, and then they show it, and well, you say there wasn't, but...
And the worst part is... The worst part about it is that he did another stupid escape right before showing us there's a knife in there.
Glass would work, though, I think.
I love
Not in the time frame that it would need before the time bomb went off.
I'm all for it. I think the magnifying glass was an amazing feat, and he did it. He pulled it off. He's Batman.
How long would it take for a how do you spell magnifying?
MAGNIF.
I love that you guys can't spell magnifying.
Burn through throat.
I love that we're looking stuff up while people are listening to a podcast. So that's great. This is good. This is good podcasting here. I love that comic that we all complained about took 40 minutes to go through.
That's because you made me argue about keys and stuff.
No one made you argue.
We don't need to make you argue. You argue all the time.
You argue.
No, when you state stupid things, you need to be corrected.
It's not a stupid thing. You don't even know what a skeleton key is.
I do. A skeleton key. Obviously, you don't.
I have one.
Did you figure it out?
Don't.
Are we almost done here?
How do you know? No, because they didn't. They're not telling me. They says 3 ways to create fire with magnifying glass. I don't need to know how to use a magnifying glass to create fire.
Well, I hope you're not ever trapped in a tower and you need to get your ropes burned off because you're not going to be able to do it.
I think it's definitely possible. I'm going to create a video this week.
All I'm saying is it tells me is paper. They tell me how long it did exactly
seconds, right?
do paper. But yeah, 30 seconds. But that's not paper.
I'm gonna do the experiment this week. On the sunniest day I find this week, I'm getting a magnifying glass, I'm burning a rope, and I'm taking a video.
You gotta do it with your feet. You gotta tie your hands together and do it with your feet.
I'll have burn marks all over my face by the time
the yard will be on fire. You can't get your hands untied.
I need somebody to come untie me and put the fire out.
Yeah, I can't find anything.
No,
it doesn't matter.
So, what do Putin, Batman, and Will Smith all have in common? Putin, Batman, and Will Smith. What do they all have in common? Come on, they all attacked the comedian. Come on, that's a good one. Putin's fighting the guy in Ukraine who's a comedian. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and Batman fights the Joker. They all attack the comedians.
I
think I might have too. I found my joke page again, and I couldn't remember which one I did. So. Like it was recent too. It was within the last couple of weeks, I think. Yeah.
Last week or the week
I just
before.
Wanted to see if I did or not. I don't know. Don't worry, I'm not going to mark it off, so you'll hear it again.
So you'll use it again at some point. So.
No.
Do you want to try it?
All right, yeah, you want to hear another one? All right, we'll try this one because this is the one I skipped. What did they call Batman when he was little? Little Wayne. Did I use that one already too?
I think you might have used that one too.
I give up. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.